Alright, good morning guys, my name's Beast. Those of you who are on the Karma Cut Discord and play Karma's Liberation know who I am. Those of you who don't, for the time being, I'm taking over the teaching in the medical department for Karma servers. Today's lesson will be on basic life support. We're going to teach you how to treat a patient. And if you're a rifleman or any other class that's not a medic, this is the course for you. If you're a medic and you're just trying to get started, same there. Just kind of listen and learn from this experience. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them. The 3 C's, or 1Q, 2 C's, questions, comments, concerns, post them in the description, or not the description, post them in the comments, or if you're on the Discord, I prefer you DM me or make a chat and add me to it or whatever you guys want to do, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is going to be a very generic show of basic life support, so don't expect much. So let's start with what BLS is. Basic life support is generally what to do if a patient is unconscious or they need help. This is just going to tell you how to make them stable. You're not going to be able to bring them back to consciousness. You're not going to be able to give them blood, but you're going to be able to keep them alive long enough for a medic to get there and assist you. So today I've chosen the Rifleman Role, so you guys, what you're going to see is the same, because when you're a medic or a platoon medic, your view on medical is much different. So we're going to approach, start creating a patient. Oh no, our patient's unconscious, he's bleeding. Let's just say the scenario is you were out in the field and he got shot. Actually this looks like a gunshot and roadkill, but so this whole screen here is called the medical menu. I have a shortcut to it. If you don't have a shortcut binded, you say interactions, you go to medical menu, and you release. Each ligament, extremity really, and the chest has their own identifier. Blood loss. If you see bleeding, that means somewhere on the patient there's still bleed and you need to stop it. So we're going to go ahead and click on bone, bandage, and fractures. Small velocity wounds. Any velocity wounds needs a packing bandage. So you're just go ahead and spec that on there. It's sealed. If you don't use a packaging, it's going to divide the wound in half. So you're going to have 2 wounds now. One's patched, the other one needs to be patched. For a small cut, you can go ahead and slap a field dressing on it. And minor crushed tissue. Just do a standard dressing. They're the best for dealing with that. Large avulsions, use elastic bandages. For medium crushed tissue, I recommend a packaging bandage, but most people will use a field dressing. Either or will fix it, but that's specifically in relation to crushed tissue. Okay, so, oh no, my patient's lost a lot of blood. He's unconscious. We're going to go ahead and check for pulse. You stop the bleeding, there's nothing more you can do. You find a strong heart rate. That indicates your patient is alive. Now, you can check for blood pressure, but you're not going to be able to get numbers. If you do that, it's going to come through as low because he's lost a lot of blood. You're not a medic, you can't do anything about that, but for the time being, your patient is stable. So then you'd go ahead, you hop on your little radio, and you'd call for, I don't know, let's say, squad medic, this is Beast, I have one person, or whatever his name is, unconscious on my position. I need a medic to assist. If your medic happens to be the guy down, or you have no medic left in the squad, you can change your radio channel and go, I'm just going to use another preset because I'm lazy. Channel 39. Channel 39 is our search and rescue and medical channel. All medics and Karma Cut servers are required to be on 39 at all times. If you're looking for what we call medical direction, which is like, hey, I've got a patient down, I don't know what to do, help me out, you have this other guy named 19 or your platoon medic. He will assist you in treating your patient over the radio. That is our job. Use it. So obviously you've bandaged the wounds. I'm just going to quickly go over patient status. So I'm going to use my body as an example first. You have a scale. I don't know if you would call it a scale or scope or whatever, but this is your body. This is the status page on your medical menu. Your patient's name will be in the top left. So if you're seeing your own name, that's because you're not working on a patient. You might want to fix that with this. Just a little quick flip. This is your examine and treatment. So whatever action you want to perform, this is going to be your category. You select that and then you click on the action you want to do. Now, where you want to perform that action depends on what you click on. You'll see that over here. It says the head and it gives you an overview. And then it gives you different options based on that. As a rifleman, you're not going to have a lot. Medics, you're going to have a lot more of these. I'll go over that in another video. Once again, so when a patient has an open wound, it starts, the ligament starts as white and it moves to red. Oh, cool. Our wound just opened up here, so as you can see, it's yellow. So it's not like a critical amount of bleeding, but it is bleeding still, and you need to stop it. Just keep that in mind when patching up parts. If there's like I'm gonna make up something real quick. Just give me a second.
Fire.
So obviously it's a lot more orange than the other wound was, and he just lost a lot more blood really fast. So in this case, don't bother bandaging. If the triage list is at lost a large amount of blood and there's this kind of wound, which is going to take multiple tries to get done, because it'd take one packaging bandage and 2 elastic bandages just to stop this. It's about 5 seconds to put each one of those bandages on. That's 15 seconds. He doesn't have 15 seconds. You're going to go ahead and say, forget all that, put a tourniquet on, because that'll stop your bleeding. And you're going to recheck for pulse once you stop the bleeding. He still has a strong heart rate. This can mean if you see someone on lost a large amount of blood, you need to monitor them, because one of 2 things is happening. There's this thing called compensated and decompensated shock. Generally speaking, I'm not going to go into the physiology of it, but it means when you're about to lose a heart rate from shock, your heart rate's going to go really high, and then it's going to tank, and you're going to be at 0. So just be aware of that. This patient now needs to be monitored, just to make sure that they're still having a heart rate. So like every 2 minutes, monitor them. In this case, right, let's say I call a medic and the medic shows up, or he's on his way and you don't know. You've stitched the patient, he needs blood, you don't know what state of shock he's in, so you're going to go ahead and mark him as immediate with the triage card here. Basically, delayed is any wounded that are unconscious, but they have received medical attention. So they're unconscious, they are not bleeding, and they have a heart rate. This is considered delayed. Minimal is walking wounded. So if you have a wound, I don't know, you scratched your leg but you're conscious, that's walking wounded. You are minimal at that time, unless you are actively, bleeding out and you don't know what to do. You don't have any medical equipment. That's a different story. For right now, this dude's immediate. He's lost a large amount of blood. I put a tourniquet on him. He's still got wounds that may reopen, and I don't know if he's in shock. Right now, he's still got a heart rate, so he's still immediate. You wait for the medic to come. He'll deal with this problem. Triage cards are important. If your medic is down and 1-9's on his way, I don't know anything. I will be asking you what's going on. And if you're not on the radio because, I don't know, something happened and your squad needs you on squad radio, that's fine. Just remember, I need, when I get there, I need you to tell me what's going on so I can figure out how to resolve this issue as fast as possible. Because let's be honest, if your medic dies, there's probably more than one person down. And that's considered triage. I won't have a lot of time. So receiving information as fast as possible is what I need. And this is what you'd say when I show up. You'd be like, hey, I've got one patient. I've stopped the bleeding for now. He's lost a large amount of blood. Still has a heart rate. Done. Everything I need to know is great. I need to know he needs a stitch. And that's that. He needs a stitch, blood, and he'll be okay. And then you're good to go. You go move on to the next guy. If a 1-9 shows up and it says, I don't need your help, or I need your help. If he says, I need your help, do whatever the 1-9 says, because he's in charge because he's a medical personnel. If he is platoon medic, he is technically a part of the command chain. If the 1-9 says, no, I'm good here, go find more patients, or pull security. If there's no more patients about, go pull security. You basically go watch my back, because I'm not going to be able to, I'll be doing work. I don't have time to look around and focus on that other stuff. If you see more patients, go check on them and perform the same procedures we just did on that person. Alright, so this patient's not going to come back, so we're going to go ahead and delete him. I'm going to grab another loadout. If you guys excuse me for a second, I'm going to take a drink of water. Alright. Okay. So that's that. That is your treatment in the field. I'm going to go over stuff that every rifleman should carry for your own safety, because the one thing we talk about in the field is don't become a victim. So I just took a default kit from our server. I don't know what it's going to consist of. I haven't played Rifleman in like 2 months, so don't judge me. Every rifleman should have a tourniquet on them. 4 tourniquets minimum. Like, I'm not even kidding. You should always have a tourniquet, because if you get shot and your medic's busy, or you don't have a bandage and you're bleeding really bad or whatever, slap a tourniquet on it. You know, I do not have time to assist you right now. That tourniquet's going to really help you in the long run. Don't tourniquet every little injury. Like I said, the scale comes into account. If you've got like a cut on your arm, there's like absolutely no point. Okay, so in order to determine that, right, you see how he's got minor crushed tissue? And it's just a minor puncture wound, minor crush. Yeah, there's really, if you have one of these on your arm, let's just say this perfect leg had one injury, don't put a tourniquet on it. Bandage it, call a medic. There's no real reason to put a tourniquet on it. Now, in the case that you've got 3 wounds on it, you got shot, I don't know, BMP decided to turn you into red mist, you're gonna say, oh, this is very bad, I can't fix this. Slap a tourniquet on it. Bam. Bleeding in that section has now stopped. Problem solved. That is what you should do if you are the one injured. Like, that's just what I'm going to say now, because medics are spread pretty thin as it is. I'm going to go over bandages real quick. Basic, packaging, quick clot. There's a chart for it on the website. I will post the link to the Google Docs below in the description. All you need to know for now is that you should at least have 5 of each of these. This is the default loadout. I don't know why it has 2, but my recommendation is you should carry at least 5 of each bandage. or 5 of each bandage, so you can do like 5 down the board, or you can eliminate quick clot and increase the number of elastics, so 775. Only reason I say that is because you guys are infantry, you're most likely to get hit by gunshot wounds, so anything that's a velocity or puncture, you need a packaging for it. Anything that's crushed tissue or avulsion, you're going to need an elastic for. So that's my recommendation for infantry. Mind you, this is not a demand, it's just a recommendation. Everyone carries their own kits. That's all you need to know for now. That is BLS, gentlemen. Now I'm going to go over medications, which is more of a medic basic life support. So you'll see that in my next video. I just decided I'm not going to make a new video on that. So then, have a good day, guys. Hope you learned something from this and you're able to now help your teammates and put less stress on your medic. Have a great day.